everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Good Guy Show. I'm Tony, he's Jeremy, and we're here for another hour of mild entertainment.
Well, you know, when you pull up to the late night eatery and they ask you what kind of sauce you want, you do usually say mild because that's the best usually sauce that really makes everyone happy.
What kind of sauce?
The mild one.
Mild sauce, okay.
You don't want to take home the spicy sauce.
Not late at night, no, you don't want
you want to
spicy
take
late
them
at
out.
night.
So you rarely, everyone's always happy with you bring them out, everyone's happy.
But we're not bringing spicy entertainment anyway.
We're bringing mild.
Bringing
Everyone's
mild
favorite
entertainment.
kind of entertainment. So, and speaking of mild,
Yes.
we have a very special guest.
Special guest, friend of the show.
How's my hair? My nose is
Were
red.
we,
What is going on?
I thought you wanted to talk art before we brought on our guest, but
I don't. Well, I mean,
that's
okay.
fine. We
Well,
could.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll just bring him into the discussion.
Well, he's always. Can you just not show me, please? No. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Well, yeah. You're right. Screw him.
No, you mentioned him. We'll bring him in.
Okay. Well,
All right.
right.
Our guest is the lovely and talented Mr. John Marroquin.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
Wait, hold on. I got. There we
Sorry.
go.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome, bud. Yeah. Thanks for coming, man. You know, you got a busy schedule. You should be making drawings right now, huh?
Yeah, or sleeping.
Or something. So,
She'll be sleeping.
John is from this area. Tony and I are not from this area, and so we're just gonna learn.
Well, we're from this area now.
Well, we're from this area
We didn't
now,
originate
but,
here,
you know.
but John grew up in Southeast Detroit.
That's right. So,
West.
West Detroit.
whoa, watch
Southwest
what you
Detroit.
say,
Southwest
bud.
Detroit.
Watch watch what you say.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, okay. So, yeah. So, John, we're gonna talk about your art stuff, your life, your goals, your aspirations. You know, what do you see yourself in 10 years? You know, stuff like.
I'm almost dead now.
Yeah,
So.
we're closer to the end than the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
No. So, John. Well, I don't know if you're aware. I think we talked about last show. We had you on the podcast, and we talked about a little bit about what's going on in Detroit with the mural situation. And there's a new article out. And without further ado, I'm going to let Tony Maiello.
Yeah, this article is from today. Yeah, today's Free Press. And it turns out that the Free Press was looking for more information, and they tried to get some email correspondence in regards to the whole mural debacle that's been going on in Detroit. And so they tried to secure these emails through the Freedom of Information Act, and due to some laws in Michigan, the city is able to charge them for, I guess, the time it would take to recover these emails and whatnot, but they were going to charge them over $17,000. Charge the Free Press over $17,000 to get these emails. So, as the story goes, the request seeks email correspondence of Antonio Bryant, Director of Planning and Development, between October 2023 and January 2024 to grasp details about the Detroit Be the Change murals by the New York-based art group Street Art for Mankind amid questions surrounding the deal, which was completed without proper approval. So what had happened was they put forth this plan to do these murals, and they started the project, and there was a lot of controversy because bids went out to a bunch of international artists, but not to local artists. And evidently, they never received proper permission from Detroit City Council. And when it came time to pay for the job, Detroit City Council hadn't approved anything, so they didn't approve payment. Supposedly, they were told to stop in the midst of painting these murals because they didn't have funding secured, I guess. And they didn't stop. They went and completed them anyway. and now there's threats of lawsuits and whatnot. And so the Detroit Free Press is trying to, I guess, get more information and get to the bottom of the story as to who said what and when, and they're being met with this roadblock. Let me see here. The city said a minimum deposit of $8,543.16 would be required for the FOIA to be completed. The law department would require 12 and a half hours at an hourly rate of $30.17 plus benefits to separate the documents for staff to review, and an additional 315 hours of staff time to review and redact the documents at an hourly rate of $39.23 plus benefits, according to the response letter. The Free Press has narrowed its request, seeking less information in an effort to reduce the cost, and awaits a new city response. But evidently, there's a problem. It says here, it's one of the big problems with Michigan FOIA that allows public bodies to hide behind excessive fee demands to keep the public in the dark about its own businesses, said Herschel Fink, Free Press legal counsel. So evidently this is something that goes on. It's happened when the Chalk Beat Detroit had requested information on how they were planning to use COVID relief money to be spent in the Department of Education, the Michigan Department of Education, and they were charging them over $10,000 to get that information. So evidently there's a track record of things like this happening. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more information coming, a lot more news on this and where it's going. The murals are done, so it's not like they can.
Yeah, that's going to be this is kind of fun to watch, because I think in the past, from what I can imagine, it was more of just hey, let's just do this, let's put it up. Hey, Red Bull. Hey, so and so. Hey, give us some money. We're gonna put this mural.
Well,
up.
yeah, and usually it's they'll get sponsorship from somebody or whatever, and especially like all these murals were done on privately owned buildings, not city buildings.
Right.
So it's there's this whole gray area there where city funds were supposed to be going to pay to paint these private buildings, and I don't know, it's something.
To benefit the private owners.
The whole thing is to beautify Detroit for the upcoming NFL draft.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't know, something just seems
there's something
fishy
going on
here.
There is something going on.
It's all because of used guys.
Yeah, Mr.
Used guys came over here and did all this.
Well, I mean, Mr.
Damn New Yorkers.
Antoine Bryant, he's the Detroit Director of Planning and Development. And he's I don't know what the communication is, or if the guy, I mean, I went on his bio. The guy's stacked. He's got his name's Antoine. He's got like a lot of initials after the name. He's this or that or this and that. I think he's a master's in architecture, and also in urban planning and stuff. So he says, this guy's not dumb, but something's going on. Something was said. I can't wait to get to the bottom of this. But my question is though, this Freedom of Information Act. Isn't that sort of like something that is just free, or?
Well, I guess what it is the state gets to charge for the time it takes them to amass the information that is being requested.
Yeah, but what does benefits mean? $39 plus benefits.
Plus benefits. So, if the person's getting health care and 401k and all that stuff, they want you to pay for that also.
Ubers, a new car, Navigator. It's gonna be fun. I think probably like moving money around, people talk trash about Detroit, but Detroit is a big city, and it's not like there's no other corruption in any of their cities. It's sort of just what happens.
There's corruption all over the place, and I'm not saying that there's corruption involved here. I just think there's something just wasn't done properly.
There's
I'm not accusing them of corruption. I'm just accusing accusing them of improperly.
We're not accusing you of anything. No one's.
No.
You guys are great.
It's something wasn't done properly.
But
They didn't
don't-
cross all the T's and
Right.
dot the I's when they were
Don't you
supposed
usually
to.
get a deposit when you're doing something like this?
I would think. I mean,
Yeah.
it had to cost them,
Yeah.
tens of thousands of dollars for material.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
know,
So
I mean,
so John,
where'd
paid
that
that?
money come from? If they,
So basically, what already happened was what had happened was apparently is Mr. Antoine Bryant we worked with these guys, the street art for mankind in January. Got the ball rolling. I'm sure and everyone's just like, oh yeah, cool. And obviously, these guys who are based out of New York probably had somewhat of a budget. They brought in artists that weren't Detroit artists, which that was the first controversy.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, and then on this bill, they're like, no, we never approved paying that bill for these non-artists because a lot of like,
and that's another thing. They had to go. Who footed the bill to
Well, they had to come down here and
fly
stay
these
here.
artists
Yeah.
here from
Right.
because they came from overseas.
right?
So who paid to fly them here? Who paid to house them? Who paid to feed them?
Yeah, but I bet you, they're all all these artists are living in New York. Dude, it's like me saying, hey, I'm doing an art show in Detroit. I'm a Vancouver artist. Well, no, I live here, but just you say that stuff to make yourself, I don't know, cooler. But
All right. So still, even if they were living in New York, they still had to
yeah,
get
no,
here.
they still have to get
They
here.
still had to be housed here.
They
Still had to be fed while they were here.
I mean, let's probably Street Art for Mankind is probably a nonprofit. They probably have all their ducks in a row. It's probably a subsidiary of something else. I doubt it's its own thing. They probably do other charitable.
So what you're saying is there's like money laundering going on.
I don't know. Listen, camera two, please. You guys know we're not saying anything. We're just asking the questions.
We're not leveling any accusations against
Right.
anybody.
No one's. Yep. We just inquiring minds just want to know.
Yeah.
Really. Okay, John. So I mean, dude, you grew up in Detroit, and you've seen like sort of the art world or like street art come and go and change and things like that, right? From like graffiti, we're like, yeah, you guys are bad. To I mean, I know a few guys that were kind of roughed up a little bit by the police officers, the fine police officers,
Was it-
getting caught and stuff.
It wasn't too much street art as opposed to graffiti.
Graffiti.
Growing up, it was mostly
Yeah, back in the
graffiti.
day, it was just graffiti.
Yeah.
Just
it
taggers and
evolved,
stuff?
Yeah.
after a while. But
So there wasn't like a lot of wheat paste and a lot of murals and stuff. But like
Not that I remember.
No. Because there always seems to be some sort of decorative people. I mean, that's especially in Southwest. I mean,
Well, that was recent also. I mean, that couldn't have been more than 10 or 15 years ago. All those murals started popping up.
right?
But yeah, when I was young, I don't remember any of that.
You don't remember any scene happening.
No.
So yeah, but so now you go to the old neighborhood, and there's a lot
yeah.
more murals, and is that done by the local artists, or is it like a group?
There's a
as far
few
as you
that
know?
are done by local guys, and there's one. Man, where's he out of? I follow him Instagram.
Oh.
But he's done some really nice like Hispanic murals.
Okay. Is it Bear Lobos?
I think that's him.
Yeah.
Is that the guy that did
He did the
E&L?
bridge. Yeah, he's got the bridge going on. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think so. He did the two got things on the bridge. He's a talented guy. He just did a
Where's he from?
Detroit, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Okay.
Goes by Bear Lobos, but yeah, seems talented
that's
guy.
him.
Talented guy. But yeah, man, it's it's I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be really interesting to see what's gonna happen, and is this gonna put a sting? Is this gonna clear things up so that all the other communities can have something kind of follow and mimic for their own communities to sort of bring about art and
see, I think I don't think anybody should be using this as a template for moving forward with with street art or public art or things like that. I think if you want a mural in your town, you should put the word out that you want a mural and have people pitch ideas
Right.
and and then
Yeah, but if it
negotiate a price or whatever.
What if the idea was to do something for Detroit because of the event coming, then I think it probably should have been more Detroit artist based.
I would think so. I mean,
especially because it's not a big. There's not a lot of murals. I mean, those murals that popped up, I didn't know the story behind them. I thought they were Detroit artists at first. I go, wow, they're really pushing it out.
Some
here.
of them are pretty good. They're big.
Yeah.
But there. So like, what seems to happen is that someone seems to get like their hands on a grant to beautify, quote unquote beautify, and then then the artists are hired, and then there's it's always it's like that nonprofit style. There always seems to be people just trying to make money, taking advantage of talented artists that are so.
Well, that's been going on for centuries. So
been going on for centuries, man. So yeah, so I don't know. It's this is not an exciting way to start the show.
No, but
it's okay. But
that's what the show is here for. It's to deliver the hard-hitting art news that's going on in our community, and around the world. So
I'm still happy to say that my mural on First Street, my movable mural on First Street of the legendary Gib Rose is as bright as ever. Up, the weather has not affected it. So yeah, go check it out. It's right behind.
It survived the wind from a few weeks ago.
Wind. Yep, all that fun stuff. I almost broke my back and I almost fell off a ladder putting that thing up. So go check it out.
And didn't that happen the last time you hung a movable mural up there?
Can we not? Yes. The days of I figure at my age I've got two really big falls left before it's like
before you cripple,
before the hip is gone.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise. But I do my yoga.
You're getting to the age though. You're gonna break a hip. You fall like that again, you're gonna break a hip.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, come on. All right. Well, speaking of breaking hips, I'm sorry. I look so great. I put some stuff in my hair. I'm trying to be a cutie patootie. I'm like red. I should have. I don't know what's going on. Anyways,
you're too wrapped up in your looks, Jeremy.
Listen, man, that's all I got. I could do that, and I could carry things for you. So that's about my two skills.
You're cute,
I can carry things.
You're cute, and you can carry things.
Okay, so so hey, good luck, Detroit. Figure it out. If Detroit wants to throw any money to some of the Denver communities, so we can get some more art going, stuff like that.
Why would Detroit want to pay us?
I don't know. Maybe hey, Detroit this way or something. I don't know. Listen, man. Stupider, sillier things have been done with less reason. For someone to get paid. So basically, if the great John here had a hookup in the city of Detroit, and he's like, man, and he could like put it up the flagpole to get a grant to do a mural about Detroit in Wyandotte. So we're gonna get that going.
Well, John has worked on a Detroit-ish project.
Okay.
February 22nd, which is tomorrow. I don't know if the show is going to be up by then, but he'll be appearing at LCA with Mess Bucket Comics to promote the Darren McCarty biography graphic novel that John did the art for.
No kidding.
What's it called again, John?
I love Darren McCarty.
I forgot.
Let's see.
Joel, if you could put up pictures 11 and 12, I think. This is some of the artwork that John did for the comic. Jeremy's searching right now for the name of it.
I'll find it. I forget these things.
Listen,
Life is a grind. Enjoy my truth. That's why I don't remember.
By Darren McCarty. Yeah, and written by Darren McCarty and our buddy Dom Riggio, and illustrated by our good friend John Marroquin. And it's available at messbucketcomics.com and
McCartycomic.com.
And McCartycomic.com too. Is that still? I thought that was just the Kickstarter.
I think I went on it earlier. So
okay.
Still.
McCartycomic.com.
Oh, that's the name of it. I thought you were saying I thought you were saying
No,
for yourself.
that's the name
Life
of
is
it.
grind,
That's why I said I
enjoy my
forgot
shit.
it because it's too.
It's such a
Yeah.
long name. Yeah.
I thought you were like trying to be philosophical and deep.
No.
Have you met Darren McCarty? Is he like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
yeah, he's like, hey man, was he giving you pointers? He's like, listen man, my chin's a little more square.
No.
No, he's just really cool about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Man, he's like he was like when did he retire playing?
Oh gosh, a while ago.
But he's sort of
Early
stayed,
2000s?
Yeah,
What was
I
it?
think so.
But he's sort of he's stayed really. I mean, he's had a band.
McCarty?
Yeah.
I think he retired after the Wings won the cup in 08.
Yeah.
Well,
been a
didn't he
while.
play? Didn't he play a year for Calgary?
He
He
played
played
a
and
couple,
came
but
back.
the Wings bought him out in the summer of after that first lockout. So in the summer of 04, they bought him out. And he was in Calgary for a season or so. Yeah.
Oh, the Flames, eh?
And he came back here. He retired here, though, right?
Yes.
sure.
Yep.
Is Dom having like the best time ever?
Dom's living life, man.
Give Mess Book.
we gotta get Dom on here because
Give Mess.
he's a character.
Mess Bucket Comics a follow. They've got the Kickstarter there. So you're going to be going to the Red Wings game. You're going to have the red carpet rolled out, and you're going to stand in the middle of the
Yeah,
ice.
tomorrow's the McCarty night. So we'll be set up there selling books. He'll be autographed. Well, I'll be signing them too, but
Are
nobody
you,
wants my
you guys
signature.
gonna drop the puck, or he's probably gonna drop?
He's going to drop the puck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be out in the lobby waiting.
So he's gonna. So that's the whole game. You're gonna be in the lobby, just like hucking. Like,
We're set up in the lobby with the books, so we'll be out there. Yeah,
That's gonna be.
it's going to be
That's
one.
gonna be nuts. You know, Dom's here with. He's only got 92 likes for standing with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's skinny, man. All right. Well, that's how long? When did you guys start that project?
Was it about 3 years ago,
Yeah, it
maybe?
took you a while
Longer?
to-
It's 180
smokes.
pages. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long graphic novel.
Yeah.
So
And I got other things in my life. I'm not sitting around drawing comics all day, which I wish I was. So it took me a while.
okay.
A couple summers,
Was there-
weekends.
Was there a deadline to it, or was it? Like,
Yeah, but I don't care about that stuff. I just,
Is that how you get jobs?
I try.
Yeah, I don't care.
No, I
You can't
do-
rush art, Jeremy.
I do, but it's
that's
just, it's
true.
just, there's only so much you can do. You know,
Well, yeah.
put it this way: if you're a professional comic book artist and that's all you do, you wake up and you draw for a living. You'll do probably a page a day, pencils. So put that in perspective. It's 180 pages.
It's a page a day,
And
then
I-
you have to ink it, then you have to.
I didn't ink it. I just did pencils. And
Okay.
then it was digitally inked and colored.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's, you know,
180 pages. That I mean, even if you're working on that and nothing else, you're only doing a page a day.
Right.
That's 180 days worth of work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot. Most comic books are 20, 22 pages. So, you're drawing a comic a month usually, and then they have to be inked and colored and lettered. So it takes a couple of months to produce an issue of a comic book.
What was the reason for doing the graphic novel? Is it kind of a story about Darren McCarty's life and upbringing? And where?
yeah, he he has a book already.
Okay.
And this is just like there's more stories that he had to tell. So him and Dom got together, and there's stuff that he didn't have in the book that he wanted to talk about. So he
Because Dom's
put a
been working with Darren McCarty for a while, right?
on this book, yeah.
No, just in general.
I think he's known him
other
for a while, yeah.
projects and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think he's known him for a while.
Have you guys ever seen Darren McCarty's what was it, show he does or whatever?
The stand-up.
Stand-up show.
Yeah, I have a
Well, he's a comedian. What was
He was
it?
in a band.
Grinder. was it?
Grinder, yeah.
That's fun. Well, that's fun. Well, good for you, Mr. McCarty. I mean, like living your life. like
But
it's
John has been working in comics for quite a while now, as long as I've known you. I think
Yeah.
that's how we met, is through comics.
Probably about 15 years. 14,
Yeah.
15 years.
But okay. So we talked about this last show. So I guess we'll just So yeah. So you were all you. I think you brought up that your uncle, right? Was your uncle was sketching or something like that? Or,
Yeah, he sketched a picture out of a comic book.
And then that's
Sparked my
what
interest.
got you going.
Yeah.
And I have a gift for you, by the way, a little Hulk gift. Remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that, getting presents.
So I think it's funny though too that we brought this up too that kids starting off with their favorite comic book heroes. Like you said that yours was the Hulk, right?
Yeah, that was.
Now, why not the Thing? What's your problem with the Thing? The Fantastic Four, is that a different? Is it Marvel?
Well, it's different. The Thing is in Fantastic Four, Hulk's in the Avengers. They're two completely different characters, different personalities.
The Hawk's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Okay.
So that.
And what's the Thing? Just a sad.
Just a thing.
A sad.
He's just a guy that
He's an
turned
orange
into rocks.
rock.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing a comic book. He was like trying to get a date.
It'd be Tony if he turned into a rock. Just be pissed off
and saving people, begrudgingly saving the world.
Yeah.
Like
he had a hot blind girlfriend though, didn't he?
Yeah. What was her name? Gosh, I don't remember.
The Thing.
That's kind of messed up. They made her blind, huh?
Yeah.
So what happened? The four of those guys, they're like the family. Went up to space?
Yeah.
And the spaceship flew through gamma rays. No, was it gamma?
I don't know.
No, Hulk was gamma rays. Cosmic rays. That's what it was. The spaceship flew through cosmic rays that transformed their bodies and gave them these powers.
So, but why were the kids? Why was it? Are they all family, or was it just like two? Well,
Reed and Sue were married, and Johnny Storm was Sue's brother, and Ben was just Reed's buddy. He was a pilot.
They were all scientists.
They were all scientists.
He was a pilot, right?
Ben was a pilot. Yeah.
Okay.
And now they go through the cosmic rays in the new movie, the Marvel movie is coming out, and it turns Reed Richards Hispanic. So.
Well, you know what? It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time. Okay, well, speaking of Hispanic.
Yeah, well, go finish your thought.
No, well, I just
John's got a book. You created the character, Mashika, and you illustrated it. What was your inspiration for that?
Besides the Darren McCarty graphic novel.
Yeah, this goes back a lot farther. I think I created that character probably about 27 years ago.
Oh, that long ago.
Yeah, it was probably about 20.
So you've just been doing this.
I just sketched them. I had ideas for them for a long time, but actually, Casey Pierce, which you guys know, she wrote the story for me, so she fleshed it out.
Oh, cool.
So,
okay.
Yeah, she was interested in it because she's a big Conan fan. So this was like her Conan. She described it as, but it's Aztec meets aliens.
So like Schwarzenegger with a little bit of mild picante sauce.
Sure.
That sounds good. I like that. So yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So you've been developing your character for 20. Did you always know that you wanted to do comic books? Like, were you like, was that something?
I mean, yeah, I always enjoyed it. I think just at heart, I'm just a storyteller, though.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy different mediums. Like there was a time when I wanted to do film, and so it's all about just telling stories.
Interesting. So do you think that because basically, comic books are basically kind of mini storyboards a little bit, right?
Yeah, we're directors. We're directing our own stories. Man. I mean, I'm still interested in film. It's just, I mean, how many people get to do film,
Well, I think
it's way easier to sit down.
I think this day and age,
Well, yeah, I guess.
But it takes far more money to make a movie than it does to make a comic book.
And
yeah, you need a cast. You need a staff of people, and where you're making a comic book, you can do that by yourself.
Are you guys not aware that Detroit just did had a bunch of murals that they haven't paid for, and you don't have to pay for anything, guys. You don't have to pay for anything anymore. You just go through a litigious
just promise
ennui,
things.
Just promise, like yeah, cool, got you. Oh, let me just make a call.
Let's just
I'll
finish
be right
it.
Back.
We'll get paid when we're done.
Yeah, maybe that's it's like man, that's the problem of just being in a brick and mortar. I remember when things were tough. In 2008 in this area, when things got a little bit weird, and I'm still fresh in town, and I'm in the art world, and we're doing all the stuff we can to sort of kind of push through, and just the amount of yeah, we're gonna pay. No, no, yeah, we're gonna next week. We'll pay you. You know, I mean, it just must have been like over time, like a while. Like they must have been hearing it from so many people. You know, like when all those car companies got bailed out and stuff like that too. Right? It's like
Yeah, there's a meeting next week. Let's.
Oh, sorry
it'll
about
be
that.
here.
We'll
It'll be
work
here.
out funding then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you what's the name of the character?
Treat me like trash, Daddy.
And that's the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen.
Like we get the kid.
Oh my God.
We get the kid a nice T-shirt. It looks good. You know, it's like the hair is going.
Oh
It's
God.
just always full of just.
This show is just weird.
It, maybe that's what we needed to get Jumpstart. Well, let's pull up. Hey, Joel, let's pull up a couple images of Mr. Marroquin's art here, if you don't mind. All I'm talking about is, well, bringing up a little bit of art, if you, Joel, if you could.
Joel, that's your cue. There you go.
Very much. Venganza.
So what character is this, John?
This is Mariachi. This is a book that me and Chris Sanchez,
Okay.
we created it, and Dirk Manning, good friend of ours, wrote it. There's 2 issues out. We need to finish it.
How many issues does it take to?
5 or 6 is what we're going to do, but we're going to finish it in a graphic novel now.
Oh, okay.
Not do it in single issues.
Okay. Is there a benefit to doing the graphic novel, just like with binding and all that stuff?
Yeah, binging.
It's a
People
graphic
wanna-
novel. Yeah, graphic novel is going to sell better than just floppy issues because the graphic novel is a complete story. So when you go to the Comic-Cons, a person can buy the book and get the whole story and not have to worry about when the next issue is going to come out.
So will you put the first 2 issues included with it, or will you just add it to the?
Yeah. So it'll be 1 and 2, and then
And then the rest.
of them. It'll be all combined.
See, I think that's great marketing right there. That's just a good.
Well, a lot of people still do that, where they put the floppies out.
Yeah.
You know, for if it's 5 issues, they'll do it 5 months, and the graphic novel will already be made, and you'll have extra stuff in it. So if you're a collector, you can have the floppies and then the graphic novel.
Can you stop saying that word?
Floppy?
Floppy. It's just like for what we do, we as independent comic creators, we're creating our own books and we travel to different comic conventions to sell them. It's easier to sell a graphic novel with a complete story in it than to sell individual issues one at a time, because the customer's getting the whole thing all in one shot.
Yeah.
And they don't have to worry about if we're going to come back next year with the rest of the story or whatnot.
Have digital subscriptions gone up?
We don't.
I
I don't.
don't know.
That was
I
a
used
thing
to
for a while, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was a.
I think they leveled off after that. They got popular.
What
and then
happened was there was a service, and I can't even remember the name of it. But they sold digital comics, and we were on there with our books, and they got bought out by Amazon. And after Amazon bought them, the whole service just kind of pooped the bed, as they say.
So, but you can actually though. Do you offer some strips digitally, or is it just going to be 2D form? Buy it, get to see, or is there still that digital access? Like a Patreon, or like that's the thing now, right? It's like
like a digital copy of it. When
like
you
a digital
buy
copy, or they get a little bonus.
it. A lot of
here or
Kickstarters do
there.
that.
Yeah.
Like they'll send out a digital copy first, and then you get your printed later. But I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I don't know too many people who read digitally. Do you?
I don't know anybody who reads digital books.
What do you,
I'm sure the younger kids do, but I
Yeah.
don't know too many kids.
What comic book art has really sort of it seems to be on this perpetual rise.
The art has just gotten ridiculous now.
In terms of
There's great artists in comic books.
So you think that everything's lovely, like the talent pool is just a little more, yeah.
A talent pool, yeah. But they've gone the way of not going to the big companies anymore, like Marvel and DC. They do their own creator-owned books, or they'll do a few, like a story arc in Marvel, and then they'll do their own book, make a ton of money because they keep it all, and they'll go play around with different characters if they're big enough.
Right.
But yeah,
So they can like do their own Spider-Man stuff. They don't have to.
no, they could do their own creator-owned, like something
They could create
created.
their own,
they'll
Mr.
publish
X
it themselves.
superhero book or whatever, and have their own characters that they've created, and they do stories on them. But then they'll go work for Marvel and do like a story for Marvel on, like, say, Captain America, and then they'll go back and work on their own stuff.
I just think it's so wild that, I mean, how long have comic books been happening? When did the first Superman come out?
38, I think.
1938, right after, right around the World War II. And yet more heroes are happening, and the world doesn't seem to be any better, really. It's just sort of...
It's because they're not real.
Huh? What?
But I mean, comics were way more popular back then. They sold millions.
Millions and millions, yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, yeah, but also the family would gather around the radio to listen to the baseball game. I mean,
Well, there wasn't much to do, so
It was,
you know.
that's all they had. There was no TV. There was no internet. There was,
I just love the fact, and I love the fact that I love hearing Stan Lee talk about how when he created things, and he's giving the idea or the storyline of the hero in regular day being a person, and then
That's flawed.
and then
like a
flawed person, and then oh man, I gotta go put this mask on now and
Yeah,
save.
but
a
also I
bunch of
got
stuff.
bills to pay.
But also, well, I've never seen them pay bills.
Well, it's Spider-Man. Peter Parker was always
like
broke.
The biggest deal with Peter Parker was he was just this average kid who had to work to support his sick aunt and still go to school, and so he gets the bit by the radioactive spider. He becomes Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility thing from his Uncle Ben, who gets killed.
Right.
And so now he's got to fight crime, and he's got to go to college
or high school.
and he's got to take care of his sick aunt. So he was constantly being pulled in all these different directions because he had this.
He's got a hot girlfriend who he's always ignoring.
Yeah. So, but he had this constant sense of responsibility to take care of all these things. So he's always being pulled in these different directions. But the average guy could, associate with that, because you're trying to work, you're trying to balance your home life, your work life, and all this other stuff. So, people could relate to that character. That's what made him so popular.
So I would be a superhero who would side gig as a broke artist.
Right.
I think, yeah. I just think it's well. What is the we've got this whole Latino Spanish comic book scene is grown as well, right?
I don't know if it's grown. I think just more people are doing.
But
stuff that relates to them.
When you go to cons and stuff, I mean, I know you get.
Yeah, just my content. The stuff I do is just
Right. Have you ever had little kids thank you, John. Thank you for.
well, I don't know about thanking me, but they're interested in my stuff, which is cool.
That is cool, man.
I mean, when I was growing up, when I was younger, if I read a comic book and it sounded like a Hispanic name, or it was a Hispanic name, it got me. Like George Perez, I was like, oh my god.
Comic artist George Perez.
Okay.
There's no white people doing this comic. Like this guy's like me, and it just lets people know they can do it too. Because if you're drawing in this world that's all white, I mean most characters were white, most artists were white. You don't ever see yourself doing it. You don't think it's something you can do, and then you see somebody with a name like yours, and then you think it's possible.
And they're all well built. Even when they're fat, they were like big shoulders and well built. It's like
No, the Latinos were always fat in the comics.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I don't think that.
I thought they were just.
John's just trying to perpetuate stereotypes.
I thought they were just.
They were always the robbers. They were always mugging people.
I thought there was rats and sombreros running fast.
Oh, you're talking about Speedy Gonzalez?
Yeah, he did. Speedy Gonzalez get canceled? By the way, is that no
I
longer?
don't know.
You know, I watch
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
I watch cartoons every morning on MeTV. They have
Showing
this
off.
the old ones.
yeah, they show the old ones and unedited.
Are they
It's great.
racist?
Some of them are a little racist.
Yeah, and there's also like
I think I bought somebody a Speedy Gonzalez. I think I bought somebody a Speedy Gonzalez, and he said it was kind of racist for his kid when he was born.
what but that that was like one of the first. I mean that Speedy. Do you guys know Speedy Gonzalez has a
Cousin
cousin?
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Oh really? That's for real, huh?
Yeah, he talk like that.
Looney Tunes voice.
Bring me the Tabasco es sauce.
Tabasco as sauce.
Yeah.
Huh. You know, which brings another fun thing. You know, do you ever want to do a story in Spanish?
I don't speak Spanish.
I know you
I'd
don't.
have a hard time. No, I would like to get my stuff translated. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just sort of like put out the market.
No,
I mean,
that's something that I do.
do you
want
need?
to do.
I can do it for you.
Yeah.
I will just.
You can translate it.
see.
I'll let my Canadian friend instead of my my Mexican relatives do it.
No, bueno, muchas gracias.
Yeah.
See, pretty smooth, right? So did you guys know that? Quick facts. Voiced by Fred Armisen, the Looney Tunes show. Mel Blanc.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hi.
We just got word you're canceled. Thank you.
What did? Because
Because you're Spanish. Yeah.
Hold on.
oh.
Thank
Well,
you.
would you prefer? Would you prefer if I spoke in French or try to do German or Russian? Oh, I can't do Russian.
You don't want to get canceled by more than one group tonight, do you?
You know. Yeah, I do actually. I'm tired. You know, I guess that's the thing.
I'm actually surprised we're not more punchy tonight.
It is
how
weird.
tired we
It
are.
is weird. Here's the reason, because I think that so many great things we're a bunch of good-looking kids. We've got a lot of good things going right now. Working really hard.
We're on the right track.
I mean, you're going to LCA tomorrow. With the great Darren McCarty and the great Dom and of Mess Bucket Comics. Tony's got a show happening. You're painting. You're feverishly painting. And apparently I'm just I'm a loser. I can't even.
You're working on stuff right now.
I have another show in September in Germany. But I'm redoing the gallery. Also, shout out Pat Slack. Heal up soon. The great fearless leader Pat Slack is recuperating from a little surgery there. So get well soon, and because I might burn the place down. Not on purpose. Not on purpose.
But you
guys.
play with
Not on
matches all the
purpose,
time,
guys.
so.
Okay, well, let's move on. John, we gotta. The people want to see your art, so let's get the. Do we have an image of? Whatever. Just pull the next one if you could, please, Mr. Joel. With the. There we go. Okay, this is the guy?
No, that's Ghost Rider.
That's Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Robbie Ray is Ghost Rider. There's a bunch of different versions. This guy's got a hot rod instead of a motorcycle.
A hot rod.
Yeah.
So
He's Mexican, man.
Oh. Is it like no?
Yeah, he's from LA.
Rider. I don't know what accent that was. So what?
That's just a print I do, like for comic conventions. I sell prints like that.
Can you guys tell me about when you guys also do? And I see you always posting about you guys doing blank covers of comic books.
Yeah, there's some on here.
If you could pull up 9 and 10.
Yeah, so that's original art on a blank Spawn cover.
So it's all. So the only thing on there is what? Image one.
Just the Spawn and the one, yeah, and everything else is blank.
Okay, and then the little T down there, or that's.
Yeah, that's from the phone.
So what's this guy? Is it Spawn or
that's Violator? That's one of the bad guys from the Spawn comic book.
So. Okay, and there's the Joker, familiar character.
So somebody will bring us a blank, and they'll say, "I want the Joker on it," and we'll draw it.
Yeah, so what
So it's
happened, like
original
Marvel and DC and
Yeah.
some of the other independent companies will print comics that have a cover that has no artwork on it. It's just a blank cover, and then artists will take them and draw original art on it.
Are those like limited edition series or anything like that, or is there a
Well, they only make so many blank
they'll
covers.
they'll only do a few thousand of them. So
Huh. And have you ever had anyone request, like they've given you a power example, a Fantastic Four, like we were talking about before, but like, no, I want it all Batman faces or anything like
Yeah,
that.
they do great. That's,
What's the
that's
craziest blank you've ever done? We are a family show.
what'd you ask? The craziest one?
Craziest
Craziest
blank.
blank you've
Oh.
ever.
I've done a lot of. Can you draw me as Spider-Man or draw stuff like that? They want their head on.
How would you just do the mask and maybe the nose is bigger or smaller?
Yeah,
Like, there you
who's
go.
that wrestling guy that I did at
Foley?
C2E2? Yeah, I did his kids as Mickey and Minnie. I don't watch wrestling, so I didn't know him, but everybody
Hold on a second.
knew him.
You're in this comic.
I wasn't
book
there
world?
that year, so I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you were there, but
What? Don't bring that back. What do you mean you don't watch wrestling? You don't watch wrestling at all?
I
You
mean, not since I was 10.
So you don't get geeked out like when someone's slamming a guy in the mat thing
In his
in the
underwear?
ring in his underwear.
Does nothing for
Yeah,
him.
John's one of the few comic guys that we hang out with that's not into wrestling.
That is wild.
Yeah, I know, especially because in the comics, it's like those worlds
Yeah,
are
comics
combined.
and wrestling,
Right.
they blend well.
So they
real
come
well
up to the
together.
table and they start talking about wrestling, and I'm like, yeah.
It does seem the way the world's going. It does seem to be that the people are like now they're like proud of the stuff they like. Like I think back in the day,
You were embarrassed.
well, to be like a fan of
You
kids,
hit it.
like New Kids on the Block. It's like no one in my grade school liked New Kids on the Block.
Really?
However, I don't know if you know this, but they did pretty good in record sales.
Well, the chicks liked them.
Every girl liked them, except they were all like, "No, I don't." But finally, this one girl came out. Catherine, was her name, and she was like, "You know what? I do like the New Kids on the
Then I'm
Block.
proud.
I'm proud." And I just think
But I think every kid goes through that. I can remember as a kid, like I was really into comic books, and none of the other kids in my class, at least they didn't admit it. So
Did they know you liked comic books?
I didn't make any bones about the fact that I like comic books. I had the old Marvel folders that they that had come out. With it had the picture of the superhero on the front, and on the back it had like a little thing of their origin. They were really cool. But I had
so they were like the trading cards?
yeah, they were like trading cards almost, but they were folders, and so I had them. Everybody knew I was into comic books and superheroes and stuff. And,
Wait, what do you mean a folder?
And
Where do
I-
you get this folder from? From the comic book
Like
store?
Trapper Keepers.
yeah,
Remember
you
those?
go to the stationery store at the beginning of the year to buy your school supplies. You needed folders, and that's what those were the ones I got.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a little thing that you put all your papers in.
Do you have a lunchbox? Did you have a lunchbox?
I did have a
Thermos?
lunchbox. I had a Marvel Comics
Of
lunchbox.
course you did. Did you have a lunchbox in thermos?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. But
How gross was that little thermos? Seriously. That was like the weirdest thing. You couldn't get the smell out of a lunchbox. I never had one. I was never lucky enough.
Yeah,
but-
the lunchbox always did start smelling a little
was
funky. I can
always-
remember my mom like scrubbing the
rusting.
hell out of that thermos.
They would get
to
all
it
rusty.
clean.
I mean, just and today the amount of food in that little box, today you wouldn't.
we
even,
probably got lead poisoning from
From
the
those
lunchbox.
boxes. Yeah.
I mean,
Definitely got tetanus from it.
Okay, well, let's pull up another one of these Marroquin images, if we could, please, there, Joel. Is this another?
That's the mariachi. That's
Mariachi.
issue #1 cover.
So is Mariachi? Does he like have a dual thing? Is he always dead, or does he like kind of get a spell and he becomes?
The story goes back and forth. He's dead, but there's flashbacks of when he was alive. So
Okay.
when he's a skeleton, he's in hell, this world
Right.
in hell.
Right.
And then it flashbacks, so he's trying to figure out what happened to him, how he died. That's the story.
But when he comes out and fights crime,
Well, you don't fight crime. every story he's going to fight a new boss to get closer to the story of how he died.
Oh, so he's not actually he's not like the A-Team saving
No.
people. He's actually just doing it for his own.
Yeah.
Kind of like what's that Deadpool character? What's that called? Where you're an anti-hero or whatever.
Anti-hero, yeah.
Yeah, he's like-
yeah, it's not a hero comic book. It's just
Just a good storyline. What now? What? Oh,
that's Mashika,
there you go. Orale Mashika.
Aztec warrior.
Yeah. So this is the new book, and this is so okay. So this you penciled this.
I have a graphic novel that's already done. This was what about
Yeah, a couple
4 or 5
years
years
ago.
ago?
How many pages?
I want to say about 70 or
Something
Around
like that. Give me a
60 or
second. I
70?
can pull it up.
What's the benefit? What's the benefit to doing a digital digital illustration as opposed to as opposed
You're
to
asking the wrong person. I do all traditional.
you do all traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's digitally colored, but
Yeah.
everything, the black and white.
so do you pass it on to
to a colorist.
Uh,
I penciled and inked it, and then I gave it to a colorist, and he colored it.
Okay, so for those who don't know, when you do comic books, like you can do the whole thing yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Includes writing. So the things are what? Writing, layout,
Lettering,
lettering.
pencils, inks.
So
Coloring.
the person doing the story isn't necessarily doing the lettering.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Mashika's 71 pages.
This-
71.
and the
Who did the lettering? Did you do the
I
lettering?
did the lettering for Mashika, yeah.
No, and then so that's like layout. So you have to come up with so there's basic storyline, but you can only fit so many words in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to kind of edit it like let's get them, like
You have a script. So the script is written,
right?
and then it's passed on, and then I'll go off the script. So say page 1, 5 panels. Panel 1, we show he's running. Panel 2.
So you know when you when you're working off a script, you know how much dialogue is going to be on the page.
Yeah.
Right.
So you tailor the art so the dialogue will fit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And then how much editing do you have to do with the story, like with the storyline to make it look more action? Like, hey man, now he should be kicking the guy in the face in this one to really make the story move forward. Does that kind of happen, or do you kind of
I mean, there are editors, but I mean, we do these books ourselves, so we're our own editor.
your own editor?
Yeah.
Man, that's just seems like. So have you ever done a whole page and you're like, this is not the direction I want to go in when you guys
Yeah.
are.
A lot.
Yeah.
Start over.
So do you have
John is notorious for not being satisfied and wanting to read
Yeah.
the pages all the time.
what do you do with those pages?
Throw them away.
Man, so you saying there could be long lost stories, long lost pages of your work? Like what would happen if people found a pile of Stan Lee stuff? And of
Now, since he's
yeah.
dead.
Well, I mean, but even
Yeah.
when he was, it's worth a little bit of because Tony, we talked about the
Well,
last.
I mean, if you ask some people, there wouldn't be piles of anything because he didn't do a lot.
oh, he did what? He just talked.
Well,
He came up with the
his
ideas,
method,
and
yeah.
the way the method was, the Marvel, quote unquote Marvel method was Stan Lee would give an artist like a 2-paragraph synopsis of what the story was, and so the artist would draw 22 pages of artwork from this synopsis that he wrote, and then he would go in and, depending on what was on the page, was how he scripted it. So the artist had a much larger hand in the direction that the comic went than anything that we do.
Did Stanley give credit or
Well, Stan Lee for the longest time got the bulk of the credit.
right?
Much later on in life, they started giving more credit to artists like Steve Ditko and Jack Kirby for helping to create these characters.
That's wild. So
but if you would talk to them, they would say they basically did everything.
okay,
And that was, I mean, a lot of these artists weren't happy with Stan Lee in the later years.
huh?
But I mean, Stan Lee was a great thing for comics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. He,
either way.
He was my idol growing up.
I mean, he
Yeah.
propelled. He basically was. He's
He was the voice.
the voice, the
Yeah.
brainchild of getting it moving forward. Well, yeah, like how because was it Disney first and then
Yeah, Disney was first.
Disney did the cartoons first. Well, but also what Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes was
It's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers from Looney Tunes. They were started in the late 30s. Yeah.
And then like what? How old's Prince Valiant? Because that was like the first. I would always skip for those. Prince Valiant was a strip of a print, right?
Yeah.
It was like
you weren't the only one, but I mean the artwork. Looking back,
The
now
artwork was great, but I never read it. I was bored. The comic strip bored me, but
Yeah, it was
the
like-
artwork was beautiful.
It was like 3 things of like this prince with like a stupid haircut, and he's like, "Oh, my princess, oh," and then you will not talk to my daughter, and then I'll be back next week, and that was the stupid, but it was
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's very
just skip to
tough doing
Garfield.
a drama comic strip because you get 4 panels.
right.
It's a lot easier writing a comedy strip than it is a
Even
dramatic
Spider-Man
strip.
was kind of messed up in the comics.
In the comics when they did the comic strips, because
There was
nothing
a
really
comic
happened.
strip-
And,
Spider-Man?
3 panels, yeah. Oh, Spider-Man ran in the newspapers in comic strip form for a long time, but it was well after he came out as a comic book.
Huh. And then you're like competing with like Helga and like Beetle Bailey and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Is that stuff still being created?
Do they still have newspapers?
The comics are it's a lot harder to find.
That would be the coolest thing, like going out for breakfast on a Sunday morning or whatever, and like your dad
Oh,
would
the
get
weekend paper was great.
Oh,
'cause
God.
You get the
I used to
cartoons
love
in it.
those
You would
comics.
fight. You would fight over the comic book. Another things you kids don't get. No, I don't know.
They don't. It's a lost art.
weird.
I mean, my grandfather would get the newspaper every day, and I would go to his house to read the
Right.
comic strips.
Well, the thing about comic books too, back in the days, you would read the same one over and
Over
over.
and
You
over
didn't
and over
have
again.
a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, John, is there? Do we show all your images there? Let's click through some of his images there. And while that happens,
If you want to come and see John on the road, we'll be doing conventions this year. Indiana Comic Con in March, Fan Expo Cleveland in April, C2E2 in April, Cherry Capital Comic Con in Traverse City, Michigan in May, and Fan Expo Chicago in August.
and you can currently see the work at Rocket Inc., right?
Yeah, some of John's books will be available at rocketinkstudios.com. And or you could probably get in touch with John through River's Edge Gallery if you need to.
Yeah,
So
sure, why not?
My
I got his
socials
number.
are hacked right now.
yeah,
so.
John's social pages have been hacked. So
I saw that you drew a talk. Actually, that's something I wanted.
that's the cover of the Mashika graphic novel.
So it's grown up a little bit.
Which one?
Baby boy's grown up from the previous one. That
Oh yeah, he was a young child.
He's a young child. Now the guy's a
Now he's
little
fighting aliens.
fierce. Well, that's an exciting dude. So yeah, well, congratulations, John. Thanks for being here for
Thanks
another
for having me.
mild. So ladies and gentlemen, it does happen sometimes. You're doing great. We're trying to do gooder. We're not the best, but we're better than good.
I don't want to raise anybody's expectations when they tune into this show. Don't expect a lot from us.
Check out our audio. Our audios have been lots of fun. We're doing really cool audios now. We got the equipment kind of going, and we got that all kind of sort of figured out.
The world's crazy
we
enough. You
got-
just want a nice.
exactly.
So
show,
find us
right?
on Facebook, find us on Instagram, Good Guys Radio. Email us at goodguysradio@gmail.com with any questions or comments. If you were an artist and you wanted to be spotlighted on the show and be a guest, get in touch with us through the email.
Check out our YouTubes. Check out our stuff. Look for the logo. To put the logos on there somewhere. You can find it. And we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks, Wyandotte. Heal up, everyone. Take care of yourself. And
Peace.